So this is our visit to the Strawberry Field. We'll visit the centre that's opened up here in the last, well, within the last 2 years, because it was being built last time we were here. So we'll go in and take a look, and you can walk around the gardens and obviously down to the iconic gates, which are replicas, but still. So let's go in and take a look. Strawberry Field, these are outside, these are replica gates. These are, though, they're not the original. The originals are in the guides say there that they're in the gardens. So yeah, these were replicated and meticulously handcrafted by Jim Bennett and donated to the Salvation Army in 2011. This is a swarmandal, Indian form of harp or zither, and this is what George Harrison played on the recording Strawberry Fields Forever. It says, please have a go and see what magical sounds you can make with it, but current times you can't. And there's all pictures of John Lennon growing up in this area. Menlove Avenue is just at the bottom of this road that Strawberry Fields is on. This is a cool picture made up of all pictures of people. Kathy's got a Strawberry Field cake.
Yeah, the Yellow Submarine.
Oh yeah. Magical Mystery Tour.
More gates.
Strawberry Field.
Let It Be, salted caramel. And rainbow vanilla.
Rainbow vanilla with the Yellow Submarines again on it. This is Strawberry Field Garden. This is Strawberry Field Garden with the very fetching headphones. This is the Strawberry Fields Garden that we've come into now. We've just done the museum tour. Well, it's not so much a museum. It's an exhibition of all things Strawberry Fields. It's a history of the building and the Salvation Army. It's very interesting though, and it goes on then about John Lennon's childhood spent in this area, and it's got the piano that John Lennon actually wrote and recorded Imagine on. It's been donated for display, or lent for display, by the George Michael estate. George Michael had bought it in 2000, it says. That's one of the lyrics in Strawberry Fields. No one, I think, is in my tree. When we come out here then to the fields, this is where, I assume this is where John Lennon used to play as a child. With the house was up where the building is now. strawberry field. Have to have strawberries. A little Beatles tour going on there, private Beatles tour in the John Lennon replica. Alright, just going. They're here, of course, because this is where Ringo Starr lived. As a child growing up, Admiral Grove. I don't want to go too far because it's private residences. I don't want to be gawking through the window. There's just down there that White House with the pink windowsills was Ringo Starr's, where Ringo Starr grew up. And the pub here was the pub that's on the album cover of Ringo's solo album, Sentimental Journey. Oh, there's a little Ringo Starr cardboard cutout in the window with the 4 Beatles. This building appeared on the sleeve of Ringo Starr's first solo album, Sentimental Journey. So Ringo lived over there, Admiral Grove, but a lot of streets here are Welsh names actually. There's Power Street, Rewlar Street, Gwydir Street. Of course, Ringo's first house was at Madryn Street, which is Welsh. Of course, there's a lot of, this area is a lot of Welsh names because a lot of the houses here were built by Welsh workers. So, just in case there's any doubt, it's painted on the side of the house here, the Welsh streets. Toxteth, L8, Billy Fury. So I'm glad he's recognised there, and you've got Ringo, of course, Peaky Blinders because it was filmed here. Jerry Marsden. I think that's the Real Thing group at the back there. There's a John Conte, Holly Johnson, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Dixie Dean, footballer for Everton, Bill Shankly, Liverpool's manager, George Melly, jazz musician, and he's really familiar and I can't for the life of me think who it is, and that's what's the name from is it Kim Cattrall from Desperate Housewives? No, not Desperate Housewives. What was it called? Was it called Desperate Housewives? I can't flip an egg when mine's going, yeah. Is it Kim Cattrall?
No, I don't. Yeah, it is Kim Cattrall.
Yeah.
She was in Sex and the City.
That's what I meant, man. Sex and the City. So anyway, I had it wrong. Yeah.
Why is she Welsh?
Yeah, she's from Liverpool.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's Lita Rosa.
Probably then, yeah.
Possibly, you know.
Yeah.
How much is that doggy in the window?
Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't think who he is. I can't think of his name. And he's Arthraski. God, I can't think who he is either. Cool. There we are. So that's something we didn't know was there actually. It was just a workman pointed that out. So this is Power Street. This is where episodes of the Peaky Blinders was filmed. The family had a home down there on the, well, supposedly had a home down there on the right, which they knocked through, wasn't it? In Peaky Blinders, and they knocked. It was a couple of houses, wasn't it, where they knocked it through. Oh yes, of course it is. Yes, but
allowed them to knock the house through, of course.
well, they might have because they were empty, going empty at the time because they were with threat of demolition, and they instead of demolishing them, they put well, they refurbed them outside and inside. So you got Power Street just down there on the left, and the next one up. this street going in here is Madryn, and this is where Ringo Starr first lived. We've done the other Beatles homes on a previous video, so I'll put a link to that just if anybody wants to have a look. So this is Madryn Street. This is where Ringo lived first of all, down there on the left. Yeah, so there's that's the house that Ringo lived in. One of the workmen here said that it's got no windowsill because fans have chipped it away and taken it away, so that's got to be a bit annoying if you live there. So that was Ringo's first home. We've got one night here at the Hard Days night. Basically, only booked it because there was a good offer on a dinner, bed and breakfast deal here. So just £135 for the night. So the room is pretty much the same as what we had before. We've already put videos up for when we stayed here 2 years ago. So it's pretty much the same. Everything different. And this room is the picture. We were in John's room before, and this one has got all four. I think we're on the same side of the building. We're overlooking the cavern. The outside windows are no cleaner. But they're doing some work down there, so just about to see John Lennon's statue down there. Almost a hidden Mickey there. Cilla Black's been nicked. Where's she gone now? In the middle there, Paul, Beatles, John, Ringo, George, Stu, Pete. Late afternoon in the cavern. There's a few people starting to come out. Sergeant Pepper's there. The Cavern Club, Cavern Pub and Restaurant. Rubber Soul is just down a little bit, and the cavern's on the right here. Beatles, first Beatles statue in Liverpool, 84. Took a while there.